Hello there, welcome to Paydirt TV. My name is Mark Andrews and with me is Legend Mining Managing Director Mark Wilson. Legend is a company that probably doesn't need too much of an introduction given their success at the Mawson prospect in the Fraser Range recently, and I suppose a mini milestone, if you can call it that. It was a recent $20 million capital raising. Welcome along, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Good to be here.
I can imagine it's been a busy time for you and Legend in the Fraser Range. How far is this money going to take you?
Mark, I think you need to, for the deep answer to that question, look at this raise in conjunction with what our existing treasury and our pipeline of funds is. We said we had 9.5 million cash at the end of March. We're burning at the rate of about $1 million a month. And so that money, at $11 million a year, gives you a couple of years of exploration expenditure. But we've got a pipeline of options that expire starting in September this year, which is another $20 million of funds over the next 24 months. So it was really a cash flow necessity, and it's given us, in an exploration term, funding for the foreseeable future.
And we're seeing quite a bit of activity come back into the Fraser Range from a select few companies. Is this the beginning of unlocking the region in a full sense?
It's always going to be a difficult province because of the soil cover. There's no cheap goals out there. You can't do soils. All your soils have to be done with air core drilling. That's a factor more expensive than a traditional soils program. Your geologists can't see the fresh rocks. Now our guys are trying to drill through 60 to 80 metres of cover to find what they're looking for, and then they've got a 40 millimetre hole to tell them what it is. So that's not going to change about the Fraser Range.
Yep.
But what is changing is the knowledge.
And speaking of step forwards, what can we expect to see from Mawson?
I don't expect the assays to be any remarkably different to the ones we've already announced, but the fact is that people can then see they're there. We've told people that we've just done a new higher resolution or closer spaced gravity survey, and when you look at that gravity high, which is being interpreted as having a very dense rock as the cause of it, and you've got these two footprints of anomalous geochemistry either side of it, and you think about me talking about that, I think Mawson, as it is at the moment, has been squeezed off something that's close by and big. The combination of that's going to tell the story.
Project more broadly, will you get into some regional stuff as well?
Oh, definitely, Mark. The regional tools are the geophysics using the moving loop EM surveys and the air core drilling. So we're going to be out there doing that across the rest of the project. We've previously said it was going to be 4 million on regional, 4 million on Mawson. Mawson's probably going closer to 6, 7, 8 million a year, but the regional will keep going at that 4 million because it's really important that you grow your knowledge base and look for those steps forward.
But more broadly in the sector, there's been pockets of capital raisings going on, different commodities, different jurisdictions. What are you making of the appetite towards junior mining stocks at the moment?
Mark, I don't think it's just junior mining stocks. It's been one of the remarkable things of this COVID pandemic. And so I think what we've seen is that there's been a window of opportunity, and people who've got the good stories, the good management teams, the money's been there to back them, and that's what's happened.
Yeah. And we've seen Andrew Forrest through some of his private vehicles look to be active in the nickel space. What do you make of Andrew Forrest's involvement in the sector going forward?
Well, I think Kerry Hermanis has come back into it too with his investment in Centaurus. Nickel is one of those commodities which at the $5.80 a pound US that it is at the moment is still relatively low and hasn't had the kick. And a lot of these folks have been there when cycles have been good. They know the capacity for this metal or commodity to just increase amazingly. I think you'll find that's probably more to the point as to why these guys who aren't necessarily looking to control companies or manage them, but simply taking it as an investment in nickel.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Mark, for sharing your thoughts today and updating us on the Mawson prospect. We wish you all the best with the exploration there, and no doubt Paydirt will be keeping an eye on the company's progress, and we look forward to having you back in the Paydirt TV studios before too long.
Thanks, Mark.